Brighton, they've switched their focus to Arsenal's Albert Sambi-Lokonga in the search to sign a central midfielder. The club have also been in talks with Lille to sign 19-year-old Carlos Baleba, but it's believed negotiations have become difficult to complete that deal. And at Chelsea, Jordan Petrovic will have a medical this week ahead of his move from New England Revolution. The fee is thought to be in the region of £14 million. That's just some news into us in the last half an hour or so. But now to West Ham, because Konstantinos Mavropanos will sign a 5-year contract once his move from Stuttgart is confirmed. That's a deal potentially rising to £19 million. Sam, I think the first thing to say here is, remember when we were saying that the Harry Maguire deal was off for now from Manchester United to West Ham? We wondered if that might be reignited. Would this mean it's off?
Yeah, it's highly unlikely that they get another centre-back, bringing him in. Mavropanos is only 25 years old. He's got Premier League experience. Even though it didn't go as well as he had wanted to start off with, I think him coming into this team now where there's a bit more stability with West Ham. Even from what I saw against Chelsea, they look a lot more durable. They look like they know what the type of defence that they're trying to play. And if he can play in a back four, play in a back three as well. And for Maguire, he needs guaranteed minutes. You know, we're talking about the Euros next year, whether his decision is gonna impact that. And I think, yeah, going to West Ham now, it seems like it's going to be a hard ask for him to guarantee those minutes.
Well, more from West Ham, because they're interested in signing Sevilla forward Youssef En-Nesyri. Right, Olivia, what would he bring?
Well, according to Kevin Hatchard, he is the best header of the ball in Europe, and that is a match made in heaven for West Ham and for James Ward-Prowse. We saw the header he scored against Josko Gvardiol in the Super Cup against Manchester City, absolutely brilliant. And I've actually been watching some of the headers he scored. There was one he scored against Portugal in the World Cup, and one that Cristiano Ronaldo would have been impressed with. He hung in the air for so long, coming up against Ruben Dias as well, who we know is a brilliant centre-back and header of the ball. I think it's a little bit scary, the thought of him getting on the end of all those James Ward-Prowse crosses. We know how devastating he can be. He scored 2 in 3 for Sevilla this season, both headers, and 19 goals for the club in all competitions last season. So they're getting a proven goal scorer, one who will be devastating from set pieces. I just think it's perfect for West Ham.
Well, West Ham also haven't given up on signing Ajax midfielder Mohamed Kudus. They've had an opening bid rejected. But Dave, do you think this would be more likely to go through if Paquetá did leave, which at the moment is off?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's our information, isn't it, that the Lucas Paquetá situation is on hold for the moment. You know, West Ham's sporting director, Tim Steiten's been in Amsterdam for face-to-face talks with Ajax over the deal for Mohamed Kudus. I'm not sure at this point whether it's dependent on Paquetá, because as far as our information is concerned, West Ham would like to do that deal with Ajax for Kudus. He's an excellent and exciting player. Had a couple of injury setbacks over the last few years, and it took him a little bit of time to reach the top level again, but he's firing on all cylinders, and he has been for the last year or so. So he would be a really, really exciting signing for West Ham. I mean, West Ham fans will say, well, look, we've brought in £100 million this summer for Declan Rice. We should be able to go out and spend. But I think you also have to bear in mind that West Ham spent something like £150 million over the course of last season, including some really important signings in January when they were struggling at the bottom end of the table. So I think you just have to bear that in the back of your mind when you think about West Ham spending for the rest of this 10 days or so.